So last night, I was laying in bed looking at my crypto portfolio, and I noticed that one of my high conviction coins really just has been underperforming. And I was like, man, it'd be so much easier right now to just take this finger and just hit that sell button. Go get myself a haircut because ever since coming back on vacation, I haven't gotten a haircut. It'll be so much easier to just take the money and go get a haircut. But I'm like, no, because scared money don't make money. When you really think about it, billionaires did not become billionaires because they were afraid of losing a couple millions on the way up. Millionaires did not become millionaires because they were afraid to lose a couple thousand on the way up. But for some reason, thousandaires, they are afraid to lose a couple $100s on the way up. Think about that one. Think about that. When I see the altcoin season index sitting at a 79 out of 100, the only thing that comes to mind is it's time to focus. It is time to focus right now. Time is now. Time is money. I am 1000% focused on making the most amount of money that I possibly can for this bull cycle. Even though some of you, I personally feel like, is not all that focused. When I go through the comment section sometimes and I see people say stuff like, don't listen to this guy, or paper hands whenever I talk about taking profits, or someone will say something like, you just want us to be your exit liquidity, which I'm going to circle back on in just a second. Or even one of my favorites, actually, I'm away on vacation and I make a sponsored video and someone is like, oh, well, shitcoining on vacation to pay for vacation. I have to admit, that one was good. That one was extremely good, extremely funny. I am not even going to lie. But right now is a time where we need to find the perfect plays, or not even necessarily the perfect plays, but plays that could potentially get our portfolios to the next level. In this video, I'm going to show you guys some coins that I think is perfectly positioned to really go on a pretty great run this bull cycle. This is a video you do not want to miss, that is for sure. But remember, nothing here is financial advice. I could always be wrong, obviously. So make sure you guys do your research. Now, before I get into things, for anyone looking for a great crypto exchange, check out my link to BTCC. You get 10% bonus on first-time deposits. Extra bonuses up to $10,000. Requires no VPN, no KYC. If you're someone that trades using leverage, you get to use up to 500x leverage. The link is going to be in my description down below for anyone that's interested. Now, getting back to things, you see, I want everyone to win this bull cycle. I want everyone to make money, but the reality is it just doesn't work like that. In order for there to be winners, obviously there needs to be losers, right? And we all have to be exit liquidity for someone else. And this is why I always find it funny when people talk about being exit liquidity, because the truth is, I could buy a coin at $10, but someone else bought that same coin at $5, and they're looking to dump on me, who bought it at $10, but someone else bought it at $2 and they're looking to dump on the person that bought it at $5. You see, you can't escape being exit liquidity for someone else. The only thing that you can do is time your exit. Now, when I say time your exit, I don't necessarily mean sell out of your position completely. I just mean take profits, because I know some people are just extremely greedy. They do not want to take profits because they feel like some of these coins are going to rally forever. But you got to take profits if you want to protect your capital. You have to protect your money as much as possible. Let's say you got into a coin all the way down here, right? The next time where you should be taking some profits is probably around here. You made a 2x on your money. Why not take out your initial, right? The next time that you should be taking profits is probably again up here, maybe again up here, maybe again up here. Just take profits on the way up. No one ever loses money by taking profits. I'm sure you guys hear that all the time. So take profits on the way up if you're trying to protect your gains as much as possible. Also, you guys need to know where you're actually buying these coins. Let's say you get yourself in a position where you actually bought a coin at its all-time high. All right, so you bought this coin all the way up here, and then it starts to reverse. You thought the coin was going to continue to rally, but instead it started to do something like this: down, down, down. At some point, you got to ask yourself, well, I bought it at its all-time high. Everybody is selling out like crazy right now. Do I take the L? I'm down maybe like 20%. Do I sell for a 20% loss? Or like, what do I do? Sometimes people decide they want to hold all the way down to the bottom, and that's because they hear all the time, hold, 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 don't sell. Eventually something is going to happen and the coin is going to reverse. But sometimes it just doesn't reverse and you just get caught holding the bag. Sometimes you got to take that out, but it all depends on how much a coin has rallied. It also depends on where you actually bought into that coin. So super important. And that's just a topic for another day. But I just want to quickly touch on that because some of you get caught holding the bags on coins that you really should not be holding for the long term unless you only put in play money. So let's say you put in like $50 on a meme coin because you're like, whatever happens. If this thing goes to zero, I lose $50. I don't care if $50 means nothing to me. Then that's completely different. But if you're putting in like $10,000 on a coin and you can't sleep at night, then that's a obvious problem. You shouldn't have put in $10,000 on these coins at all-time highs to begin with. All right, but let's get into some coins that I want to talk about today. Now, the first one here I have covered a couple times on my channel, but it's been a while since I've talked about it. But the reason why I'm talking about this one again is because there's some news, and I feel like this is news that's eventually going to bring this coin to another level. And the thing is, the price is actually at a decent price, which I'm going to pull up the charts in just a second, but this is what I'm talking about right here. So sweet, okay, check this out. Sweet Crypto is about to have a major breakout in Q4. The L1 blockchain created by former Facebook devs has been thrust into spotlight with Google's launch of Agentic Payments Protocol, AP2, a framework built for AI-driven payments. Backed by PayPal, Salesforce, and dozens of others, AP2 aims to let autonomous agents manage direct purchases and recurring transactions with little to no human input. I think that is massive. I honestly think that is massive. And every time I look at the Sweet chart, it literally looks like it's getting ready to break out, and it could happen at any moment. Matter of fact, I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulders pattern here on the charts for Sweet. I want you guys to really take this in, all right? This is a bullish pattern that I'm seeing. Let me draw this in. So a inverse head and shoulder here on the 4-hour time frame. Now, Sweet is currently sitting at a $13 billion market cap, and I know that some of you is probably like, $13 billion market cap. I want nothing to do with that. But I guarantee you, if you could have gotten Solana at a $13 billion market cap, you would have probably gone all in if you could go back in time, right? And Sui, who knows, maybe it could perform something like Solana. You never really know. It is still a very hot L1 crypto. So I definitely would not sleep on it. Now, some people might look at it and be like, okay, well, Sui is sitting at $3.66. Okay, it already had its rally, but did it really? You know, its all-time high, I believe, was what? Something over $5 and like 34 cents, something like that, right? But I want you guys to ask yourself, where did most investors get in? I can tell you that question right there. I shouldn't necessarily say most investors, but the average retail, I guess, right? I can tell you guys that. I can answer that for you guys. You see, I've been talking about, I still have it circled in, wow. So I've been talking about Sui for a very long time, or I first talked about Sui since Sui was like all the way down here. I initially got in Sui something around like 80 cents, right? But everybody started talking, or at least majority of people started talking about Sui something over the $1 range. That's where it really started to gain a lot of traction, a lot of hype, something over $1 right here. So it's not that far from where I initially got my first position into Sui. Now Sui is sitting at $3.66. So Sui is only up like 3x from what looks like it's the bottom. So Sui actually didn't rally that much from where the hype initially started. So you got to take that into consideration when you're looking into getting into these coins. Sui, even though it looks like it probably rallied, it didn't rally that much. Most people are only up like a 3x at this point, and it's sitting at a $13 billion market cap. And I said this in my last video, okay? Let's say Sui only did like a 5 to a 10x from here. Would you rather make a 5 to 10x on your money, or would you rather potentially lose like 98% on your money because you invested into some random coin that doesn't have the hype, doesn't have the community, doesn't have the narrative, absolutely nothing? You got to ask yourself that question, because to me, a 5 to a 10x is definitely some good money. And the thing about coins like this is these sorts of coins are the types of coins where you could actually enter with size. Now, I'm not telling anyone to enter with size. I'm just saying because these are well-established coins, you feel more comfortable entering with size as opposed to entering with size on some random meme coin, right? So yeah, Sweet is the first one here that I want to talk to you guys about. I see a very bullish pattern, and if it does play out, Sweet could be going on its next leg up in a pretty nice rally, if you ask me. All right, now, if you're looking into getting into Sweet for the very first time, where would I look to get in? I think it's at a decent price right now, but if you're lucky enough to get it anything under $3, that would just be golden opportunity, especially if you see it like $2.37, which I don't think it's going to get down there anytime soon. Eventually, like all these coins end up retracing, but you know, Sweet's looking good to me. That's all I'm going to say. But Sweet is the first one. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is this one right here. Some of you might have been hearing about Aster. Now, it is backed by CZ from Binance. So check this out. Binance founder CZ has backed Aster, a new decentralized derivatives platform that aims to challenge Hyperliquid's dominance in the sector. If you guys watched my video yesterday, I spoke about Hyperliquid, and people should be looking to get Hyperliquid on a pullback if you can, because Hyperliquid has the potential to enter the top 10, and it could run a lot more than where it's at right now, right? So it's very interesting to see this article right here. But going back to the article, let's see. So on September 19th, a post on X, CZ revealed that Aster had become the largest holder of BSC USDT apart from Binance's own hot wallet. According to Arkham Intelligence data, Aster's wallet holds 131 million in USDT, trailing Binance's 236 million. This one's gained a lot of hype. I want you guys to actually take a look at this right here on the crypto bubbles. This thing is the biggest thing on the bubbles. Matter of fact, I saw this thing over 100% today, and this pullback just a little bit. But if you can get this thing on a good pullback, I would definitely not sleep on this one. Right now, it's near all-time highs. So I'm not telling anyone to buy right now. But what I am doing is I want to get these coins on your radar so you're at least aware of it. Because the last thing you want is everybody on YouTube and X is talking about these coins after it's already done like a 10x from where the price is at right now. You don't want that, right? So put these on your watch list. Set your limit buy orders so that you can take advantage just in case we get a great scenario where this thing just tanks, right? The market tanks due to, like, I don't know, war escalation, or Trump says something, right? And the market tanks, you get a golden opportunity. Just set your limit buy orders. For this one specifically, if you can get it around 76 cents, I think that is a great opportunity because this has a potential to really, really run. Is it going to outperform Hyperliquid? I feel like Hyperliquid just has that advantage, but it could still make people some pretty decent money, especially because it's connected now to like Binance, right? And we see how BNB has been performing. Check this out. BNB is sitting over $1,000 and it's still running. A current market cap of what, 142 billion. It flipped Solana. Okay, it's sitting at spot number 5 on CoinMarketCap. So I don't think that this Aster coin can be ignored. Put it on your watch list, and I think some pretty decent returns is going to be made off of it. Now, this next one I've covered multiple times here on my channel, but I'm looking at the price action and I'm like, man, it literally looks like it's getting ready to squeeze and make its next leg up. And I'm talking about ZBCN, Zebec Network. Again, I've covered this one multiple times on my channel, but I believe that everyone needs something in payments. We all know where the world is headed, right? And payments is massive. You cannot ignore that. XRP has been, well, it's cooling down now. It's been trading sideways, but when it picks up again, I expect something like Zebec Network to really take off. Check this out. They posted this on September 19th. 45 million Americans own crypto. In 2024, 380 billion in remittances were sent overseas. Both groups face huge fees moving money across borders. Stablecoins change that fast, low cost, frictionless. And Zebec Network is one that I think people need to be watching. All right. Now, if we check out the current price action, In the last 7 days, it's down almost 6%. In the last 24 hours, it's basically flat. The current market cap is 369 million. So for anyone that doesn't want to buy coins over $1 billion market cap, this could be one that you could be taking, that you could be paying attention to. Okay, $369 million market cap, current price is 0.0040. And again, it's in the payment sector, and I believe everyone needs something in the payments. Now, if we check out the chart here, I have all these lines already drawn in. It literally looks like it's getting ready to squeeze and make its next leg up. And this is what I like to see. Now, again, because I've been talking about this one for a very long time, I need to just remind you guys that we got in, I don't even know where. It was somewhere down here, I believe, at the very bottom. I think at this point it was like 75 million market cap or something like that. But it really hasn't started its parabolic run yet. As you can see, initially it did really take off, right? It just went nuts. Everybody was FOMOing into this thing, but then it pulled back, and that's typically what ends up happening. And this is why I always tell you guys, if you guys are going to be chasing these coins, know that you're probably going to get dumped on. You're going to get dumped on. So you got to always ask yourself, are you willing to buy the dip if you're buying these coins at their all-time highs? All right. Always ask yourself that question before hitting that buy button, right? But someone bought this thing at its very peak and it completely dumped, and it's been trading sideways for the most part ever since, right? It did make a little bit of a pop towards the upside, but then it pulled back a little bit and it's trading sideways. But yeah, this is one I believe that everyone needs to be paying attention to. ZBCN is a ticker, and yeah, it's going to get very interesting with the payment sector for this bull cycle. That's what I strongly believe. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Check out a few of the links down below. But until next time, take care.